The December air was crisp, and 12-year-old Liam Carter shivered as he pressed his nose against the frosted window of a small shop in Seattle. His gaze was fixed on a delicate porcelain angel figurine, its intricate wings catching the light of the store's twinkling holiday decorations. It wasn't just any figurine, it was the same one his mother Emma had admired weeks ago, whispering, "Someday." For Liam, someday had to be this Christmas. Emma deserved it. She was his everything, his rock, his guide, and his biggest cheerleader. As a single mother, Emma had worked tirelessly to make their small apartment feel like a haven. Despite juggling long shifts at Evergreen Community College's cafeteria and cleaning offices late into the night, Emma always found time to make Liam feel loved and secure. Her sacrifices inspired Liam to do something meaningful for her this holiday season. Clutching a handful of crumpled bills and loose coins he had saved over months, Liam pushed open the shop door. The warmth inside greeted him as he made his way to the counter, carrying the porcelain angel with both hands as though it might shatter under the weight of his dreams. The cashier smiled at him, but then frowned as she rang up the total. "That'll be $25, she said kindly but firmly. Liam's heart sank. He carefully placed his savings on the counter, counting out $19.87. He looked up, his big brown eyes filled with hope. "Is this enough?" The cashier shook her head apologetically. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Prices went up last week." Liam's shoulders sagged. Figurine seemed to weigh heavier in his hands now, and he hesitated before reluctantly placing it back on the shelf. He turned to leave, fighting back tears, when a deep, warm voice called out behind him. "Hey, kid, let me take care of that." Liam spun around to see a tall man in a dark coat and beanie. His face was partially obscured by a scarf, but the moment he lowered it, Liam's breath caught. It was Keanu Reeves. Keanu stepped forward, his signature kind smile lighting up his face. He crouched to Liam's level. "That for someone special?" Liam nodded, barely able to find his voice. "It's for my mom. She really liked it when we saw it before." Keanu's eyes softened, and he stood up, pulling out his wallet. "Well, Liam, let's make sure she gets it." He handed the cashier a crisp $50 bill. "And let's grab some change for the little guy." Liam stood frozen, unsure if this was real. "Thank you," he whispered, clutching the figurine tightly as if it might disappear. But Keanu wasn't done. "Tell me more about your mom," he said, guiding Liam toward the store's aisles. "She works a lot," Liam said shyly. "She likes teaching, but she couldn't finish college because of me." Keanu stopped walking and looked at Liam, his expression unreadable. "Because of you?" he asked gently. Liam nodded, guilt creeping into his voice. "She had to work to take care of me." Keanu crouched again, placing a reassuring hand on Liam's shoulder. "Kid, let me tell you something. Moms like yours are heroes. And I bet she'd say you're the best thing that ever happened to her." Liam blinked back tears, nodding. Keanu grinned. "All right, let's grab one more thing for her, something she can use every day, and remember how much she's loved." He picked up a knitted shawl, running his fingers over its soft texture. "What do you think? Cozy enough for your mom?" Liam smiled for the first time that day. "She'd love it." By the time they reached the register, a small crowd had gathered. Whispers filled the store as customers recognized the Hollywood star. Keanu paid for the figurine and shawl, handing the bag to Liam. "Now, promise me one thing," Keanu said, crouching again. Liam nodded eagerly. "When you give these to her, tell her they're not just from you. Tell her they're from someone who thinks she raised an incredible kid." Liam's eyes glistened as he clutched the bag tightly. I will. Keanu stood to leave, but a woman in a sharp suit stepped forward, whispering something in his ear. Keanu's face shifted from curiosity to thoughtfulness, then resolve. He turned back to Liam. How about we make this an even better Christmas for your mom? Liam blinked, confused. What do you mean? Keanu grinned, his eyes twinkling with the kind of mischief only kindness could bring. You'll see. Liam clutched the bag containing the precious gifts, his mind racing with Keanu's cryptic words. Outside, the frosty Seattle air nipped at his cheeks, but the warmth of what had just happened filled his heart. Keanu made a quick call on his phone, glancing at Liam with a reassuring smile. Within moments, an electric sedan pulled up to the curb, sleek and quiet. Keanu opened the door for Liam. Hop in, I'll get you home safely, he said with a wink. Liam hesitated. He'd always been taught not to trust strangers. But this wasn't just anyone. This was the man who had just turned his disappointing day into something magical. He slid into the passenger seat, clutching the bag tightly on his lap. As they drove through the twinkling streets of Seattle, Liam found himself opening up to Keanu, something he rarely did with anyone. He talked about his mom's sacrifices, how she worked long hours at Evergreen Community College and cleaned offices late into the night, yet always found time to help him with his homework or listen to him talk about his day. She never complains, Liam said softly, staring out the window. Even when she's tired, she just smiles and says, "We're a team." Keanu nodded, his hands steady on the wheel. She sounds like a remarkable woman, he said. And you, Liam, are a great teammate. Liam smiled shyly, his cheeks flushing with pride. When they arrived at Liam's apartment complex, Keanu parked the sedan and stepped out with him. The building was modest, its exterior worn but clean, with faint signs of holiday cheer visible through the windows. Liam hesitated at the entrance, suddenly feeling self-conscious. "Thank you for everything," he mumbled, turning to Keanu. "I don't know how to tell her about this." Keanu crouched to meet his eyes, his tone soft but serious. "Tell her the truth. Tell her how much you love her and how much she means to you. That's the best gift you can give her." Liam nodded, his throat tightening with emotion. "And one more thing," Keanu added, pulling a small envelope from his pocket. "Tell her to keep tomorrow afternoon free. I'll be back." Liam's eyes widened. "What's this for?" Keanu winked. "Just trust me." Inside the apartment, Liam carefully placed the porcelain angel figurine and knitted shawl under their tiny, well-worn Christmas tree. The tree wasn't much, a few mismatched ornaments and a string of flickering lights, but to Liam, it was perfect. When Emma came home that evening, her face lit up at the sight of Liam waiting for her. She kicked off her shoes, exhaustion etched into her features, but her smile never wavered. "Hey, sweetheart," she said, ruffling his hair. "You're up late." Liam beamed as he handed her the bag. "Merry early Christmas, Mom." Emma's eyes filled with tears as she pulled out the figurine. "Liam, how did you—" She trailed off, her fingers brushing over the delicate angel wings. "There's more," Liam said, grinning. He pulled out the shawl, wrapping it around her shoulders. Emma's breath hitched. "It's beautiful," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You didn't have to do this, sweetheart. Just having you is enough." "But you deserve it," Liam said firmly. "And there's something else. You need to stay home tomorrow. Someone special is coming." Emma frowned in confusion. "Someone special? Liam, what's going on?" "You'll see," Liam replied, his grin widening. That night, Emma sat by the Christmas tree long after Liam had gone to bed. She held the figurine in her hands, her heart full yet aching. She had never asked for much, but this small act of love from her son reminded her of the strength they shared, the bond that had carried them through so many struggles. The next day, Emma tried to push the thought of the mysterious visitor from her mind, busying herself with cleaning and organizing their apartment. But as the clock struck 2 p.m., a gentle knock at the door sent her heart racing. Liam sprinted to open it, his face lighting up as he saw who was standing there. "Mom, it's him!" Emma stepped forward cautiously, her eyes widening as she took in the sight of Keanu Reeves holding a bouquet of white lilies and a large envelope. "Ms. Carter," Keanu said with a warm smile, "it's a pleasure to finally meet you." Emma's hand flew to her mouth as she tried to process what was happening. I don't understand." Keanu stepped inside, offering her the flowers. "Liam told me a lot about you yesterday," he said, "and after hearing everything, I couldn't just walk away." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "You didn't have to. I mean, this is too much." Keanu shook his head gently. "Sometimes, extraordinary people like you need a little help to achieve their dreams." He handed her the envelope. With trembling hands, Emma opened it, revealing a typed letter from Keanu himself, along with a scholarship application to Evergreen Community College. The letter explained that all her expenses, tuition, books, and childcare, would be covered in full. Emma's legs wobbled, and she sank into the nearest chair, overwhelmed by the weight of the moment. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at Liam, who was beaming with pride. "I don't even know what to say," Emma whispered, clutching the letter to her chest. Keanu crouched beside her, his voice soft. "Say yes, Ms. Carter. The world needs more people like you teaching the next generation." Emma nodded through her tears, pulling Liam into a tight embrace. "Thank you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Thank you for believing in us." Emma sat in stunned silence, clutching the envelope as tears streamed down her face. The weight of the moment felt almost too much to bear, but in the best way possible. Liam sat beside her, his small hand resting on hers, offering silent support. Keanu, standing a few feet away, glanced around the small apartment. The worn furniture, the frayed curtains, and the tiny, flickering Christmas tree told a story of struggle and resilience. His expression softened. "This is more than I could have ever dreamed," Emma finally said, her voice trembling. "I've spent so many years thinking this kind of opportunity was out of reach." Keanu crouched to her eye level, his tone calm but firm. "It's not out of reach anymore. You have everything you need right here," he said, gesturing toward the scholarship and then toward Liam. "And now, it's time for you to believe in yourself as much as he believes in you." Emma wiped her tears, nodding. "I'll do it. I promise I'll do my best." Liam's face lit up with pride. "You're going to be the best teacher ever, Mom." Keanu smiled at their exchange. "That's the spirit. And remember, this isn't just for you. It's for all the kids you're going to inspire." The warmth in the room was almost palpable, but Keanu wasn't finished. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a small box, handing it to Liam. "This is for you," he said. Liam opened the box to reveal a high-quality tablet loaded with educational materials, games, and even a personalized message from Keanu himself. Liam's jaw dropped. "Is this real?" Keanu chuckled. "Real as it gets. You deserve this, buddy. You've got a bright future ahead of you, and I want to make sure you have every tool you need to chase your dreams, just like your mom." Liam launched himself into Keanu's arms, hugging him tightly. "Thank you so much. You're the best." Keanu hugged him back, his expression soft, full of resolve. "No, kid. You and your mom are the best. I'm just lucky to have met you." For the rest of the afternoon, Keanu stayed, sipping tea from mismatched mugs and listening to Emma and Liam talk about their lives. Emma shared stories of her late nights juggling work and parenting, while Liam excitedly talked about his dreams of becoming an architect one day. Keanu, in turn, shared his own struggles, his journey to success, and the importance of never giving up. "Life can be tough," he said, his voice earnest. "But it's moments like this, moments of connection and kindness, that remind us what really matters." As the sun began to set, Keanu stood to leave. Emma walked him to the door, her heart swelling with gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you for everything you've done," she said. Keanu smiled. "You don't have to. Just keep going, keep believing in yourself, and keep being the amazing mom you already are." Liam ran to the door, waving goodbye as Keanu stepped into the waiting electric sedan. "Bye, Mr. Keanu. You're my hero." Keanu turned back, his signature kind smile lighting up his face. "And you're mine, Liam. Don't forget that." As the car pulled away, Emma and Liam stood in the doorway, the glow of the porch light illuminating their tear-streaked but smiling faces. Inside the apartment, Emma placed the porcelain angel figurine on their mantel, a new centerpiece of hope and love. The small living room felt fuller than ever, not because of material gifts, but because of the kindness that had transformed their lives in just 24 hours. The next morning, Emma woke up feeling a strange mixture of excitement and uncertainty. The envelope containing her completed scholarship application sat prominently on the kitchen table, a tangible reminder of the life-changing events of the previous day. Liam, still buzzing with excitement, was already up, scrolling through the tablet Keanu had given him. "Mom," he called out, his voice filled with awe. "There's a video here about architecture. It's amazing. Look, you can build bridges and houses." Emma smiled as she watched her son's enthusiasm. "Well, it looks like we both have a lot to learn," she said, pulling him into a hug. "You've got your dreams, and now I've got mine too." She spent the morning preparing to submit the application. The thought of going back to school after so many years filled her with both anticipation and fear. "What if I'm not good enough?" she muttered to herself. Liam overheard and walked over, his face serious. "You are good enough, Mom. Keanu believes in you, and so do I." His words struck a chord in Emma's heart. She nodded, her resolve strengthening. "You're right, Liam. Let's do this." Later that day, Emma and Liam made their way to Evergreen Community College. The campus buzzed with students carrying books and chatting in groups, their laughter filling the crisp winter air. Emma felt out of place among them, but Liam's hand in hers kept her grounded. At the admissions office, a kind receptionist guided Emma through the final steps of submitting her application. As she handed over the envelope, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. "This is it," she whispered. But as they were leaving, something unexpected happened. A faculty member, who had overheard Emma's story from the receptionist, approached her. "Excuse me, are you Emma Carter?" he asked. "Yes," she replied hesitantly. "We've heard about the incredible gesture from Mr. Reeves and your determination to pursue teaching," he said. "If you're open to it, we'd like to feature your story in our upcoming newsletter. It could inspire so many others." Emma hesitated. Sharing her story with strangers felt vulnerable, but Liam squeezed her hand, his eyes shining with pride. "Mom, you should do it." She agreed, and as they walked back to their small apartment, Emma realized that her life was no longer just about surviving. It was about thriving. And sharing her journey might just help others find their strength, too. That evening, as Emma prepared dinner, a soft knock at the door startled her. Opening it, she found another envelope on the doormat. Inside was a typed letter from Keanu. Dear Emma, I hope today was everything you dreamed it would be. Remember, this is just the beginning. You've taken the first step toward something incredible, and I couldn't be prouder of you. Keep moving forward, no matter what. With admiration, Keanu. Emma read the letter aloud to Liam, her voice shaking with emotion. He hugged her tightly. See, Mom? Even Keanu knows you're amazing. She laughed through her tears. I guess I have no choice but to believe it now. The days that followed were a whirlwind of emotions and adjustments. Emma's story quickly gained traction after being featured in Evergreen Community College's newsletter. Messages of encouragement began flooding in from strangers who resonated with her journey. Some shared their own struggles, while others simply cheered her on. Emma, overwhelmed by the outpouring of kindness, started to feel a renewed sense of purpose. Liam, too, seemed to thrive in the wake of their unexpected fortune. He carried his tablet everywhere, soaking up every bit of knowledge he could. Mom, he said one evening, his eyes wide with excitement. Did you know bridges have to expand in the heat so they don't crack? I want to build the strongest bridge in the world someday. Emma smiled, her heart swelling with pride. You'll do it, Liam. I know you will. But not everyone was as supportive. Some neighbors, curious about the sudden buzz around the Carters, began whispering. Who does she think she is? One woman muttered. First she gets handouts from a celebrity, and now she's acting like a star. Emma overheard, but chose not to react. Let them talk, she told herself. This isn't about them. Despite the whispers, Emma poured herself into preparing for her new chapter. The mornings were spent working her shifts, while evenings were dedicated to studying the basics of classroom management and educational theories. Liam often joined her at the table, working on his own school assignments. Their shared focus created a bond stronger than ever. Then, one cold January morning, Emma received an email from Evergreen Community College. Her application had been officially accepted, and she was enrolled to begin her classes in just 2 weeks. She read the email 3 times, her hands shaking, before letting out a joyful cry. Liam, she called, rushing into the living room. I did it! I'm going back to school! Liam jumped up and hugged her tightly. I told you, Mom! You're amazing! But the surprises weren't over. That evening, there was another knock at the door. Emma opened it to find a delivery man holding a large, neatly wrapped package. For Emma Carter, he announced. Emma brought the package inside. Her curiosity piqued. She and Liam carefully unwrapped it to reveal a beautiful knitted shawl and another letter. This one wasn't typed. It was handwritten in elegant script. Dear Emma, every teacher deserves warmth and comfort as they change the world. Consider this a small token to remind you that even on the hardest days, you are wrapped in strength and support. With admiration, Keanu, Emma pressed the letter to her heart, tears streaming down her face. How does he keep doing this? She whispered. He believes in you, Mom, Liam said simply. The months that followed were transformative for Emma, but they weren't without hardship. Balancing her job, rigorous coursework, and her role as a mother tested every ounce of her resolve. There were nights when her head barely touched the pillow before her alarm blared, signaling another long day ahead. Yet, every time exhaustion or doubt threatened to consume her, she found strength in Liam's unwavering belief in her. Liam became her anchor, often surprising her with little gestures of support. One evening, as Emma sat hunched over her tablet, reviewing lesson plans, Liam walked in holding a tray with a cup of tea and a sandwich. On the plate was a sticky note that read, Teachers need fuel too. Keep being amazing, Mom. Love, Liam. Emma's heart swelled. What did I ever do to deserve you? She asked, pulling him into a tight hug. You just love me, Liam said simply. And that's everything. As Emma's final year of school approached, the challenges intensified. Late nights became the norm, and there were times when she wondered if she was chasing an impossible dream. But every time she doubted herself, she remembered the porcelain angel figurine on her desk, a symbol of hope and perseverance. One evening, while preparing for her final teaching practicum, Emma found herself overwhelmed. The lesson plan in front of her felt inadequate, and she couldn't shake the fear that she wasn't ready. Her thoughts spiraled until she heard a soft knock at the door. Liam stood there holding the angel figurine. Mom, he said, his voice steady and full of conviction, you've already done the hardest part. You believed in yourself when it mattered most. Now it's time for the world to see how amazing you are. Emma hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. I love you more than words can say, she whispered. You're my reason for everything. The day of Emma's graduation arrived, bringing with it a mixture of nerves and pride. She stood on stage, her cap and gown a testament to years of sacrifice and determination. As her name was called, the applause from the audience was deafening, but none were louder than Liam's cheers from the front row. After the ceremony, Emma and Liam returned to their apartment, where a surprise awaited them. A letter with a familiar Los Angeles postmark sat on the kitchen table. Emma opened it, her hands trembling. Dear Emma, I heard about your incredible achievement and couldn't be prouder. Your journey is a testament to the power of perseverance and love. You've inspired more people than you'll ever know, including me. To honor your hard work, I've made a donation in your name to Greenwood Elementary School to ensure your students will always have what they need to succeed. Keep shining, Emma. The world is better because of you. With admiration and congratulations, Keanu. Enclosed was a certificate of donation to Greenwood Elementary, along with a personal note for Liam. To the best son a mom could ask for, never stop believing in the power of love and kindness. You are her light, and she is yours. Emma pressed the letter to her chest, tears streaming down her face. Liam stood beside her, his arms wrapped around her waist. We did it, Mom, he said softly. No, Emma replied, her voice thick with emotion. We did this together. Over the next few years, Emma flourished in her new role as a teacher. Her classroom became a safe haven for students, a place filled with laughter, curiosity, and boundless love. The porcelain angel figurine sat prominently on her desk, a constant reminder of how far she'd come. Each Christmas, Emma and Liam celebrated their journey by placing the figurine and the knitted shawl at the top of their tree. It was no longer just a decoration, it was a symbol of hope, resilience, and the kindness of a stranger who had forever changed their lives. Years later, as Emma stood in her classroom watching her students present their projects, she thought back to that snowy December day. She remembered the actor who saw her worth when she couldn't see it herself, and the son who never stopped believing in her. That night, as Emma and Liam sat by their Christmas tree, sipping cocoa and reminiscing, Liam turned to her with a thoughtful expression. Mom, he said, do you think kindness really changes the world? Emma smiled, her eyes shimmering with tears. It already has, Liam. It already has. And so, Emma and Liam's story became a beacon of hope for everyone who heard it, a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the unyielding belief that even the smallest acts of kindness can create ripples that last a lifetime. If this story touched your heart, Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let's continue to spread kindness and inspire one another. Thank you for watching.